It's another day and we're on the mountain. I'm Eric Perkins. Welcome to our job site, the Farmhouse. So on the last episode, we were gonna install this porch ceiling. Jason's working on it. And we couldn't though because we hadn't got the inspection done on the framing, but the inspector came this morning. He passed all of this, we're good to go. There's some other things inspection-wise I'm gonna show you today. So we're gonna get this ceiling going in today. Today's video is brought to you by Next Insurance.
And
you okay, Ray?
Case on that end, and that'll be a quarter on both sides.
Here's a look at our ceiling material. This is 3/4 inches thick by 8 inches wide, nominal, so it's probably only like 7.5 or 7.25. We have pre-stained it with an exterior oil stain that is really only supposed to be one coat. That's what there is. They don't recommend double coating it with that oil because it saturates the grain on the first coat.
Here in just a moment, the guys are going to need to cut around some can lights. I need a little template that's exactly the size or maybe slightly oversized the can light. So it's 6 5/8. Well, I don't have a 6 5/8 hole saw, do you?
No.
I mean, I don't have one. So I just rigged up this quick little trammel set here. You can buy nice ones, but this one's a couple screws to a scrap to get the exact size of my template. I'm going to cut this very carefully with the jigsaw and give them a nice round template they can trace on the boards and get those cutouts done just right.
That'll work.
Not bad.
Let's take just a minute to thank our sponsor for today's video, Next Insurance, which is a great company, by the way, that provides business insurance that is affordable and easy to get. I even use it for my own business. If you didn't know, you have to have insurance to do business. Yeah, you have to. And even small businesses like us need insurance. Next is actually tailored to small businesses and pretty much any kind of small business you can think of. Not only that, Next is a one-stop shop for insurance for your business. You can get workman's comp and liability insurance, and you can do it so fast and easy, even from here. I bought my insurance in less than 10 minutes from on top of a mountain. You don't have to go down to town, sit in front of an agent, or wait in line. It is so easy, and it costs up to 30% less. This company is actually not a startup. It's backed by giants, and it actually has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, which is just as important to me as the money that I save by using them for my business insurance. Not only is Next Insurance easy to set up, you actually have complete control of your own account and you can cancel at any time. And it's really a game changer for me to have instant access online to my certificates. So if you are a small business owner and you like to save money, you like to avoid hassle, and you like to get products that are really great, click on the link in the description below to join over the 100,000 people that are already using Next Insurance for their business. We're gonna get going today with an Arlo segment. Everybody's been asking for more Arlo, and I couldn't agree more that we need more Arlo. So Arlo is doing some figuring here. What are we working on here first thing?
So the first thing we do is we check and see that both edges are parallel. We build everything perfect, but I don't know how. One end is
I like your attitude.
It's a half an inch difference. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Anyways, so what we've done is we've decided we're gonna, let a 1/4 inch go on each side. And
split the difference.
Nobody's gonna see that split difference. Right.
Okay.
So then the next thing we think about is we divide the width of the boards into the width of the space because we don't want to end up with a 1-inch board at the house.
Correct.
Which is going to show that maybe it is off because everything,
yes.
maybe tapers down to
yes,
nothing.
if an inch down to nothing taper is visible.
So in this, we did the math and we came up with that we're going to rip about probably 1 inch to 1.5 inches off the first board to move it back a little bit, and then we'll end up with about a 3/4 size board on the against the wall.
Everything we build, we try to build it perfect. Arlo said it is perfect. Well, it's not. Like I said, it's a 1/2 inch difference in width on these two parts. That's pretty normal, and the key is to make your finished materials hide any discrepancy there is, and that's exactly what that whole thing Arlo was doing, is talking about making it look perfect in the end.
188.5.
188.5. We're going to be putting these boards on with a 16 gauge nailer. There's straight racks of nails. They're galvanized because it's outside, and we shoot it through the tongue. That's actually, we should look at that. That's kind of important. As we're getting this going, there's one thing we really need to make sure that happens is that we leave a space between the edge of the tongue and groove and the beam, the girder, because the tongue and groove is wood material. It's all bang tight together, and there is a chance of this stuff expanding and contracting with moisture and temperature. So we need to leave room, just like hardwood flooring, how you'd leave a gap on both sides so that this stuff can expand and contract a little bit without buckling. I've seen it buckle if you put it tight. Ray and Jay have got a chalk line run for the first row, and we're gonna put it in. Here's what our inspector said. He said, we're good here, but down here on this deck, we need diagonal bracing. And I kind of knew that already, but we have two options. We can do diagonal braces out of post pieces like that. You've seen that a lot. Or we can do diagonal bracing like a 2x4 pressure treated that just fastens to the bottom of the deck joist. Now, the reason we don't need it up here is because the sheathing does the same thing. It basically continuously diagonally braces the roof, and that's why we don't need it there. In that the guys are shooting one face nail per rafter, and you wouldn't do that inside, but this is outside. It's dark stained wood with knots. It's a softer material, and we just want that added insurance that it's really fastened really well. So that's the reason they're doing that. And you really can't see it is the thing with with this type of darker stained material. Sometimes we use raised beard as a thermometer on the job site, and right now it's telling us
it's below freezing.
It's below freezing, correct.
It's freaking cold is what it's telling us.
We're cutting these boards from the back because it's pre-finished on the front. We don't want it to splinter out. And Arlo is doing another trick where he actually holds the saw, go ahead and do it, Arlo, at just a little bit of a bevel just by hand. Yeah, and so now you're guaranteed that the face, the show face of the material is gonna hit before the back, making for tighter butt joints, right?
We're gonna give you a little pro tap tip, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Pro tap it, tippy.
Oh my gosh.
It's getting tippy up here. All right. A lot of times you have to hit the board to tighten up your butt joint. The guy will say, tap it. Well, if you hit...
joint. All right.
Are we still doing this? If you hit the board with your hammer like this, you're gonna be denting that bottom edge that shows. So what I do is I turn my hammer around backwards and I tap on the board right there. So I can put a bunch of dents in it. It doesn't matter.
A little bit there, Richard.
Try?
Yeah, Richard, try it.
Wow. Ray's using his chisel as a little pry bar here to get these gaps pulled tight. There you go, that works great. If I get out of Jason's way, he's gonna come shoot it while Ray holds it. So this is a 2 or 3 man operation to do it easily. The third man is usually to hold the board up and lock the tongue in the middle because they don't want to go a lot of times. They hate to go in easy.
Sometimes you will lose your mind trying to get a piece to go in with only 2 people.
Yeah.
This is 16-foot material, so the middle can sag.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So what Jamie's saying is true. The maddest I've ever been in my life was trying to install this 16-foot tongue and groove overhead by myself in a house we were building one time. Remember that? Oh, and yeah. I got so angry that my arms were on fire. I couldn't get it to go in. And eventually I just took the board and I chunked it off the deck, like off the side of the mountain. Yep. And we had a new employee that day and he thought I was crazy.
All right,
so we're actually holding these boards in place like this. And then we're gonna trace the 2 edges of this can light housing like that. Gosh. First you gotta be Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
There's the edges. There's the cutout.
And 3/8, and they wanted me to take out 3 and 3/16. So there's 3 and 3/16 right there. And I'll make a little mark down the center. Take my center thing here. Line it up with the edges. Voila.
Should be a perfect fit.
Should be a perfect fit.
how he could see that line. I couldn't see it.
I know.
Did you go skiing and didn't call me?
Yeah, man. I don't want you slowing me down in the slopes.
Whatever.
You just slowing me down. You also got to doing backflips. Did you see me?
I'll bet you did some flips. Double notcher coming your way.
Okay, you guys are a little weird, but it's okay.
It's good. You like it?
I love it.
Good. Closing in on the last bit of this. It's actually so cold that the gun is kind of like frozen. It's not.
Is that normal?
Yeah, that's what it's doing.
Son of a gun!
I would say it's somewhere in the 20-degree range. Is not good for these guns. This little section here is the part that bumps out on the upper floor, and so we're still going to have to get insulation in from here to here, but we decided that that was very much possible, so we could go ahead and put this ceiling in place now. If you're wondering about that gap, we're going to use about 2-inch wide trim that's made out of the same material, stain the same color, and go around the whole perimeter of this thing and trim it out. And then we'll probably actually stain the beam and the posts and everything this same color, so it all looks nice and finished and all matching in the end. All right, we're done with the back porch. Now we're going to tackle the front porch. You can see these trusses are running this way, which if we nail the tongue and groove on it, it'll run this way. But we were thinking it'll look better if it matches the decking. What do you think? Okay, we've got that fur down. It's not really important that they're on any layout. We didn't even measure layout, actually, because you can actually see those as you're putting the rows of tongue and groove up. They're just less than 24-inch on center. That's it. Well, once again, it's not 5 o'clock yet, but we are frozen. It's hovering somewhere in the mid-20s here with no sun. And we got enough done today for me to be happy. We got both of our porch ceilings in. They look great. Super excited to have gotten that done. Thanks for building with us today, and we will see you on the next one.
Hey, y'all, I think I'm gonna slide on out of here in a minute. Y'all good to go?
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.